One of the 7 states created from the old Western state in 1976 by General Murtala Mohammed is Ogun State, with Abeokuta as the state capital. Nigeria's history cannot be written without mentioning the notable and noble contributions from Ogun State towards national development. The state is known to be a state of many firsts, which gives her the appellation the Gateway State. One of the areas the Gateway State leads is in the education sector. Nelson Mandela said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which can be used to change the world." Indeed, Ogun State is leaving no stone unturned as she invests heavily in the educational sector. This effort has made it possible to find an Ogun State indigene leading in every human endeavor. This could not have been achieved without the vision of our founding fathers in providing quality education within the state. Education within the Gateway State can be traced back to 1842, when the early missionaries stepped into the state, and since then, education has been on the upward curve in the state.
Of the high standard, high premium that Ogun State places on education, there is that drive to ensure that what comes out from our system is actually the best. The quality of education, because Ogun State itself is known for quality, not only in the area of education, everything, we're actually pace setters. So the quality is actually very, very encouraging.
While the state was carved out in 1976, the first tertiary institution in Ogun State at its creation was the then Federal Advanced Teachers College, now Federal College of Education of Shiele. It started operations at Isalegbeyin, sharing compound with the old Abeokuta Grammar School.
It's not FCS at then, it was Federal Advanced Teachers College. It was called FATICA then, Federal Advanced Teachers College. Actually, the college was established in 1976, and that was the year Ogun State was birth too. It would be good to say that Ogun State and Federal Advanced Teachers College have the same birthday by way of being established in 1976. And I want to say that Federal Advanced Teachers College happens to be the first tertiary institution in Ogun State. Even though I am not one of the first sets, but I'm one of the 5th set of the college. I passed out at FATC then, situated at Igbeyi, at the then Abeokuta Grammar School. That was where it started. And it was not until 1982, when the government gave the college autonomy, that we moved to the permanent site at Oshiele. It was named Federal College of Education at Abeokuta.
The establishment of FCE gave rise to the establishment of other tertiary institutions, with the first state-owned tertiary institution, Ogun State School of Health Technology, now Ogun State College of Health Technology Ilese-Ijebu in 1976, followed by Tai Solarin College of Education, formerly in Ijebu-Ode, in 1978, now in Omu-Ijebu. Then came the first state-owned polytechnic, Ogun State Polytechnic in 1980, now renamed Moshood Abiola Polytechnic. The birth of Ogun State University, now Olabisi Onabanjo University in 1982 in Agoiwoye, brought life to the town. These institutions have paved the way for others.
Ogun State has a lot of tertiary institutions. I mean, the one owned by the state government, we have 9 of them, and there are others, polytechnics and universities. Those are the largest number of tertiary institutions in Nigeria. It's also historical because Ogun State, by our standard, is the education capital of Nigeria. And then the proximity of Ogun State to Lagos is also there, and because of the large number of applicants and people yearning for higher education, we seem to have that high demand, and like I told you, because of the historical nature coupled with that, I think that made Ogun State to be more attractive. Of course, to some extent, I want to say that the government policy, Ogun State has this open door policy. Ogun State is welcoming, and I think the ease of this doing business and so on of the government of Ogun State is also probably a factor. So Ogun State will continue to be number one when we talk about education, and that is why I think more and more institutions are still likely to be established in Ogun State.
Nigeria has over 200 tertiary institutions, with over 20 of these institutions situated in Ogun State. With proximity to two mega cities, Lagos and Oyo states, Ogun State has comparative advantage over others in terms of landmass and infrastructure, as well as natural endowment. The institutions are Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Taisho University of Education, Ijebu-Ode, Redeemers University, Mowe, Covenant University, Ota, Babcock University, Remo, Christland University, Abeokuta, Crescent University, Abeokuta, Mountain Top University, Lagos Ibadan Expressway, Allmark University, Ijebu-Itele, Crawford University, Igbesa, Macpherson University, Lagos Ibadan Expressway, Belts University, Ota, Federal Polytechnic, Ilaro, Grace Polytechnic, Omu-Ijebu, Abraham Adesoya Polytechnic, Ijebu-Igbo, Gateway ICT Polytechnic, Shapade, DS Adegbenro ICT Polytechnic, Itori.
Education in Ogun State is not something that we think that we should pursue as something that just started or recently. It's something that you can even attribute to the beginning of education in Nigeria. Ogun State represents a state where when you trace the history of education, you just have to start with Ogun State. And you can easily reflect that even in the fact that the first set of newspaper came from Ogun State. And that's why we have Iweri today. Ogun State can easily be linked from Lagos in terms of its position. It can easily be linked from Oyo State, and it can easily be linked from Benin Republic in terms of international students.
NUC approved establishment of private universities a long time, I think in the 90s. And so ever since, the number has been increasing, it's geometrically, rapidly increasing so much so that private universities have outnumbered the public universities combined, the state and federal combined. And so that shows that the policy actually is favorable for establishment of the university, of private universities, in terms of establishment, let me put it that way. Again, the standard, the academic standard, academic requirement, curriculum-wise, staffing, infrastructure, and all that, requirements are similar for private and public. So the same tools, the same guidelines are used, which is comforting. The teeming population of people looking for university education is too large for public universities to accommodate. So I don't think that has been solved significantly, because at the moment, the private universities actually take up about 6% of the total number in the university.
All situated in various local government areas of the state, 5 of these citadels of learning are amongst the top 50 universities in Nigeria. In an online poll conducted by NigeriaInfo.com in 2020, Ogun State is ranked the top 10 most educated state in Nigeria, having 90.57% literacy level.
People had seen these states because, flashing back to, Credo, in the western states, Ogun State is amongst, there's what we call educationally advantage and disadvantage. Okay? Disadvantage in the sense that of low quality, because the reverse is the case. Ogun State is not one of such. And that goes back to the credo that you said. And so, for me, it's an advantage to the people around us having quite a number of large universities, tapping into the source of what the state is known to be, ab initio.
Because if you look at the development of education in Nigeria, Ogun State cannot be ruled out. In terms of the gateway and everything, of course, now education, wise, Ogun State cannot be ruled out. Any household that would not want to, have their children in higher institutions, unlike some other places. So therefore, the people that have been yearning, of course, now to go to institutions, they are there.
They have contributed in no small measure to the literacy level, as well as preparing the youths within the state and the nation generally for the challenge ahead. Having such high numbers of tertiary institutions also counts for some economic importance.
It is actually enormous. You can easily appreciate that in terms of the impact on the small-scale businessmen and women. You see, when you establish a school, and just any school for that matter, anywhere, it will impact on the economy of the locality. You see people doing all sorts of buying and selling, particularly those who sell food, those who sell clothes, those who sell school materials, exercise books, and so on and so forth. You see that all those ones actually, their businesses will get a boost. When you go to a university community or a polytechnic community or where you have a college, you see that during the time students are in session, the place will be booming. There will be a lot of buying and selling, because you can imagine some of these institutions are located in rural areas, and the population of the entire rural area might not be more than maybe 2,000 or 3,000. But when you now bring in, say, a university with a student population of about 10,000, you can imagine what that means. So the local communities, so those who have houses, students will rent their houses. More people will come around there even to build houses, and then people who are doing buying and selling, they will sell more. More people will even be attracted to that locality to bring in their businesses. It's also an indirect way of job creation, which the government is always interested in empowering the citizenry.
Governor Dakpo Abiodun MFR has also demonstrated that he is for all institutions, irrespective of their ownership structure, pledging the necessary support to aid their operations and encourage the students. True to his words in the 2021 budget, education has a 58 billion naira mark, which serves as a testament to the passion of his administration to the sector.
Of learning, whether primary, secondary or tertiary, the administration will continue to pay rapt attention to the development of all institutions of learning as key components of our education industry. But whatever it may, each of these institutions is what contributes to our proud position as the education capital of this great country, Nigeria.
At the 40th anniversary and 19th convocation ceremony of the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro, the best graduating student of the institution was given automatic employment.
On behalf of the government of Ogun State, we will be offering the best graduating students, Esther Modupe Akintola, immediate employment opportunity.
Many of these institutions have produced students who have and are still excelling in their various fields. For example, the current Minister of Finance, Zainab Shamsuddin Ahmed, is a product of Olabisi Onabanjo University, Agoiwe. Ibrahim Bio, former Minister of Transportation, is also an alumnus of the school. Over the years, tertiary institutions within the state have shown their academic excellence by winning numerous awards. In 2020, Gateway Institute of Technology, Igbesa, won the award of the most compliant institutions by the Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board, JAMB. Also in 2013 and 2014, the award of the best private tertiary institution in Nigeria went to a private institution in Ogun State, Covenant University. In a ranking by the Times Higher Education (THE) in 2018, Covenant University, one of the private institutions in Ogun State, became the highest ranked private Nigerian university. The current administration, led by Prince Dakpo Abiodun, MFR, Governor of Ogun State, has put machinery in place to drive education in the state to a higher ground, and these efforts did not go unnoticed in 2020. The governor was awarded the best governor in education.
Best governor.
Successive administrations continued to develop the education sector as it is the catalyst for any nation's development. The Gateway State has invested heavily in the development of her citizens through education, with the state having 2 state-owned universities, 2 state-owned polytechnics, 1 state-owned college of education, Ogun State College of Health Technology, 1 federal university, 1 federal polytechnic, ICT polytechnics, and numerous private universities and polytechnics, thereby making Ogun the education hub of the nation.
It should be something like Silicon Valley. So people can begin to look at that. The government can actually harness this pool of institutions. We must have engagement between town and gown. There must be engagement of government with the institutions, the people with the institutions. You have a lot of industries. There should be a process, an intentional process, whereby Ogun State should harness and bring together the resources, human resources especially, you have in the industry, in the tertiary institutions, bring them together to do things that will be of great benefit to people of Ogun State and the country. Then that hub will have meaning.
The Gateway State, known as the citadel of knowledge in the country, continues to set the pace in academic excellence.